Can register. In this lecture I will told the reproduction in plants. In this topic containing next article, that is pollination. Pollination means transfer of pollen grains from anther to the respective stigma of same flower or different flowers located on same plant body or different plant body on same species or different species, that is called as pollination. In this phenomenon, pollen grain become transfer and deposit over the respective stigma of same flower as well as neighboring flower located on single plant body or different plant bodies on same species as well as different species. These phenomenon are commonly called as pollination, or it is also called as, also another ways it will define as the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma of a flower, that is called as pollination. There are two main types of pollination. There are two main types of pollination. First one is self-pollination. And last one is cross-pollination. Self-pollination means the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma of same flower or different flowers located on single plant body, that is called as self-pollination. This self-pollination again categorized into two types. First one is autogamy and second one is zytonogamy. Autogamy means the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma of same flower located on single plant body, that is called as autogamy. Example for this autogamous type of pollination, that is called as groundnut. In the groundnut plant, they shows clistogamous type of flowers, that is those flowers they do not open at maturity condition, that is called as clistogamous flower. That's why autogamy, this kind of pollination is compulsory during the groundnut. Botanical name of this groundnut, that is called as Arachis hypoxia. These Arachis hypoxia or groundnut, they shows clistogamous type of flower. These clistogamy condition flowers, they do not open at maturity condition. That's why here autogamous type of pollination is obligatory or compulsory. Autogamy means the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma of same flower. Single flower containing pollen grain which are present in the anther lobe, they will deposit these same flower containing stigmatic surface. This phenomenon are commonly called as autogamy, and the pollination is known as autogamous type of pollination. It is included in self-pollination because here only single flower are included as well as only single plant body are found during this phenomenon. So it is called as self-pollination containing first type, that is known as autogamy. Second one is zytonogamy. Zytonogamy means transfer of pollen grains from anther to the respective stigma of transfer of pollen grains from anther to the respective stigma of two different flowers located on single plant body, that is called as zytogamy, and the pollination is known as zytogamous pollination. In this type, the plant body becomes single, but flowers become different. In a single plant body, they contain number of flowers. About these flowers, the anther containing pollen grain, one flower containing pollen grains, they will deposit the second flower, which are located on single plant body. This kind of pollination are commonly called as zytogamous type of pollination, and the phenomenon is known as zytogamy. There are two types of self-pollination. There are two main types of self-pollination, that is autogamy and second one is zytogamy. Then second type of pollination, that is called as cross-pollination. Cross-pollination means transfer of pollen grains from anther to the respective stigma of two different flowers located on two different plant bodies on same species or different species, that is called as cross-pollination. In this phenomenon, plant body become different as well as the flowers become different in nature. Two different flowers containing pollen grains, or the anther containing pollen grains, one flower containing pollen grains which are placed on X plant body. These X plant body containing pollen grains, they become transport into Y plant body containing stigmatic surface. This kind of pollination phenomenon are commonly called as cross-pollination. It is the another type of pollination, that is transfer of pollen grains from anther to the respective stigma of two different flowers located on two different plant bodies on same species or different species, that is called as cross-pollination. There are two types of cross-pollination. First one is xenogamy and another one is hybridization. Xenogamous type of pollination means transfer of pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma of two different flowers located on two different plant bodies on same species. This kind of pollination are commonly called as xenogamous type of pollination, and phenomenon is known as xenogamy. It is a very simple phenomenon, that is during this type of pollination, flowers become different, plant bodies become different, but species become same. This type of pollination phenomenon are commonly called as xenogamous type of pollination. Example for this xenogamous type of pollination, that is China rose or Hibiscus rosa sinensis. In this flower, decoration of flower can taken as well as production of nectars can taken. Due to cross-pollinating varieties, decoration of flower can take place as well as production of nectar is also can take place. That's why here more wastage of energy is required for the completion of cross-pollination phenomenon. That is one of the first type during cross-pollination phenomenon, that is called as xenogamy. Xenogamy means transfer of pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma of two different flowers located on two different plant bodies on same species. this kind of pollination are commonly called as xenogamous pollination, and phenomenon is known as xenogamy. Then second type of cross pollination, that is called as hybridization. Hybridization means transfer of pollen grains from anther to the respective stigma of two different flowers located on two different plant bodies on two different species. Here species become different, plant bodies become different, as well as flowers become different in this type of pollination phenomenon, that is called as hybridization. It is a very simple phenomenon during cross pollination, or the second types of cross pollination, that is called as hybridization. Hybridization means the transfer of pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma of two different flowers located on two different plant bodies on two different species. Here flowers become different, plant bodies become different, as well as species is also different during this kind of pollination, that is called as hybridization. Example for this hybridization, that is any two species of cotton plants, that is two different species is required for the completion of pollination phenomenon, that is called as hybridization. It is the last type of this cross pollination, that is called as hybridization. In xenogamy, two different flowers as well as two different species is not required. In xenogamous type of pollination, hybridization, two different species is required. Okay, that is the second kind of pollination phenomenon, that is called as cross pollination. There are two types. First one is xenogamy and second one is hybridization. There are two main types of pollination, that is called as self-pollination as well as cross-pollination. There are two main types. Then I will discuss the pollinating agencies. During transfer of pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma, here two types of pollinating agencies are required. Two types of pollinating agencies are required, that is living things as well as non-living things. Non-living things, that is called as physical factors, or it is also called as abiotic factors. These abiotic factor or abiotic pollinating agencies as well as biotic pollinating agencies are required for the completion of pollination phenomenon. There are two main types of pollinating agencies. First one is abiotic, or it is also called as non-living or physical factors. Example, wind and water. That is one of the type of pollinating agencies, that is called as abiotic, or it is also called as non-living or physical factors. Means those factors they are non-living in nature, that is called as physical factor, or the non-living abiotic agent are required for the completion of pollination phenomenon, that is called as abiotic or non-living or physical factors. Example, wind as well as water. And second one is biotic, or it is also called as living factors. Example, different kinds of insects, birds, bats, all of these etc. Examples are included in this biotic type of pollinating agent. Biotic or living things are required for the completion of pollination phenomenon, particularly in cross-pollination. This biotic agent is required for the completion of pollination phenomenon because the pollen grain become transfer and deposit over the respective stigma during cross-pollinated varieties or the cross-pollinated plants. The biotic agents like insects, birds, bats, snails, different kinds of animals, they are required. Without pollinating agent, the pollen grain do not transport from anther to the respective stigma during cross-pollination. In self-pollination also, the biotic factor is also required, like, the abiotic type of factor is also required for the completion of pollination phenomenon like wind as well as water. There are these two main type of pollinating agencies, like abiotic, it is called as non-living, and second one is biotic, that is called as living. On the basis of which type of pollinating agents are required for the completion of pollination phenomenon, there are so many types of pollination as like hydrophilous type of pollination, anemophilous type of pollination, ornithophilous type of pollination, cirripterophilous type of pollination, as well as entomophilous type of pollination. There are so many types of pollination on the basis of which type of pollinating agents are required for the completion of pollination phenomenon. There are following types of pollination on the basis of which type of pollinating agencies are required for the completion of pollination. First one is entomophily. Entomophily means the pollinating agencies, that is insect, are required for the completion of pollination, that is called as entomophilous type of pollination, and the phenomenon is known as entomophily. Pollinating agent, that is insect, are required for the completion of pollination phenomenon, that is to transfer pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma by involving pollinating agent, that is insect, that is called as entomophilous pollination, and the phenomenon is known as entomophily. Second one is anemophily. The abiotic pollinating agent, that is wind or air, also required for the completion of pollination phenomenon, that is called as anemophily. Wind pollinating agent are required for the completion of pollination, that is to transport pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma in presence of abiotic pollinating agent, that is called as wind. This phenomenon are commonly called as anemophily, and the pollination is known as anemophilous pollination. Then third one is hydrophily. Hydrophily, it is the another type of pollination. In this pollination, the pollinating agent, that is water. Water are also included in abiotic pollinating agent. This water is necessary for the transportation of pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma. This kind of pollination are known as hydrophilous pollination, and the phenomenon is known as hydrophily. In this kind of pollination, the water, abiotic or physical factor is necessary to transport the pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma. That is the third kind of pollination, that is called as entomophilous pollination, and the phenomenon is known as entomophily. Then another kind of pollination phenomenon, that is called as ornithophily. The pollinating agent, that is birds. The biotic pollinating agent, that is birds, are required to transport pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma, that is called as ornithophily, and the phenomenon is known as ornithophilous pollination. In this pollination, the pollinating agent, that is birds, are required for completion of pollination phenomenon. Another type, that is called as chiripterio. Chiripteriophily. The pollinating agent, that is bats, are required for the completion of pollination phenomenon, that is called as chiripteriophilous pollination. Bat, this biotic pollinating agent is required to transport the pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma. This kind of pollination phenomenon is known as chiripteriophilous type of pollination. Another type, that is called as malacophilous pollination, or the malacophily. Malacophily means the snail pollinating agent is required for the transport of pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma. This kind of pollination are known as malacophilous pollination, and the phenomenon is known as malacophily. There are so many types of pollination like entomophily, anemophily, hydrophily, ornithophily, chiripteriophily, malacophily, on the basis of which type of pollinating agent are required to transport the pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma. Like insect, these pollinating agent get required to transport the pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma. This kind of pollination is known as entomophilous pollination. Wind pollinating agent is required to transport the pollen grain. This type are called as anemophilous pollination. Water, this physical factor or abiotic factor is necessary to transport the pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma, that is called as hydrophilous pollination. Bird, it is also a biotic factor or biotic pollinating agent. They are required to transport the pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma, that is called as ornithophilous pollination, and the phenomenon is known as ornithophily. Then bat, this biotic pollinating agent get transport pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma, that is called as chiripteriophilous pollination, and the phenomenon is known as chiripteriophily. There are following few types of pollination on the basis of which type of pollinating agent, it may be either biotic or either abiotic pollinating factor is necessary to transport the pollen grain. There are so many types of pollination. Okay, then I will discuss the advantages and disadvantages of self-pollination. Advantages or merits of self-pollination. advantages or merits of self-pollination. Self-pollination means to transfer pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma of same flower or different flowers located on single plant body, that is called as self-pollination. There are two types like autogamous pollination and zytonogamous pollination. These autogamous pollination means transfer of pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma of same flower located on single plant body, that is called as autogamous pollination. Zytonogamous pollination means transfer of pollen grain from anther to the respective stigma of two different flowers located on single plant body, that is called as zytonogamous pollination. There are two types of pollination, that is autogamous and zytonogamous. Both are included in self-pollination. These self-pollination, few advantages are occurred or few types of merits are shown in self-pollination. That is, first merit, it is a sure method of pollination. The first advantage or first merits of self-pollination, that is, it is a sure method of pollination. Then second one is no wastage of pollen grains. In this type, wastage of pollen grains do not occur, that is, no wastage of pollen grains. Then third advantage, that is no wastage of energy for decoration of flowers and production of nectars. Third merits or third advantage of self-pollination, that is no wastage of energy for decoration of flowers as well as production of nectars, because during self-pollinated varieties the flowers are colorless. There is no coloration should be necessary for the self-pollinated varieties. That's why no wastage of energy for decoration of flowers as well as production of nectar. Nectary gland do not secrete the nectars during self-pollinated varieties. That's why production of nectar is not necessary. So no wastage of energy for decoration of flowers and production of nectars during self-pollination. Then fewer line varieties. Fewer line varieties can obtain. In this type of pollination, fewer line varieties can obtain, or genetically fewer varieties can obtain during these self-pollination. That is the advantages or merits of self-pollination. First one is it is a sure method for pollination. Second one is no wastage of pollen grains. Third one is no wastage of energy for decoration of flowers and production of nectars. Fewer line varieties can obtain. That is the advantages or merits of self-pollination. Then disadvantages or demerits of self-pollination. Disadvantages. Or demerits. of self-pollination. First disadvantage or demerits of self-pollination, that is disease resistance varieties is not obtained. Disease resistance varieties not obtained during self-pollination, that is the one of the disadvantages or demerits of self-pollination. Disease resistant varieties is not obtained. Tolerance ability. Tolerance ability do not found during this kind of pollination. Tolerance ability means in adverse climatic condition, the self-pollinated varieties do not survive. That is called as tolerance ability do not found, or tolerance ability become minimum during these self-pollinated varieties in adverse climatic condition. If the environmental factors like water is not available, if seed becomes sowing inside the soil in a few days or few weeks, the rainfall do not shown or do not taken, that is water is not available at that time, the self-pollinated varieties, the tolerance ability is very minimum or very negligible. That is tolerance ability do not found during these self-pollinated varieties. That is the two main demerits or disadvantages of self-pollination. First one is disease resistance varieties is not obtained. Tolerance ability do not found. Then third one is yield become very low or less. Yield of these varieties or self-pollinated varieties, the yield become very low or less amount of yield become obtained during self-pollinated varieties. That is another disadvantage or demerits of self-pollination. Progeny become weaker. Progeny become weaker or weaker progeny become obtained during this self-pollination. That is another demerits or disadvantage of self-pollination. Here progeny become very weaker, yield become very less or low yield become obtained, tolerance ability do not found or tolerance ability become minimum, and disease resistance varieties is not obtained during the self-pollination. That is the demerits of self-pollination or disadvantages of self-pollination. Then I will tell the advantages or merits of cross pollination. Advantages or merits of cross pollination. Advantages or merits of cross pollination. The first advantage, disease resistant varieties can be obtained disease resistant varieties can be obtained during cross pollination. In this pollination, disease resistance capacity become maximum or more during this cross pollination. It is one of the advantage or merits of cross pollination. Then second advantage for this cross pollination, that is yield become maximum or more yield is obtained. In cross pollination, finally yield become maximum or more yield is obtained. That is the second advantage or merits of cross pollination. First one is disease resistance varieties can be obtained, yield become maximum or more yield become obtained. That is two main merits or two main advantages of cross pollination. Then third one is progeny is stronger or stronger progeny is obtained during these cross pollinated varieties. Then tolerance ability is maximum. Tolerance ability, that is during adverse climatic condition, if rainfall do not taken or water is not available, the tolerance ability of the seed become maximum or more during cross pollinated varieties. That is the another advantage or merits of cross pollination. And then next merit, that is called as yield become also maximum during these cross pollinated varieties, as well as the another main advantage or merits of these cross pollinated varieties, that is progeny becomes stronger, tolerance ability become maximum, yield become maximum, disease resistance capacity is also obtained during these cross pollinated varieties. That is the advantages or merits of cross pollination. Then I will tell the disadvantages of cross pollination or demerits of cross pollination. Disadvantages or demerits of cross pollination. First disadvantage, that is more wastage of energy for decoration of flower and production of nectars. First demerits or disadvantage of these cross pollination, that is more wastage of energy for decoration of flowers and production of nectars. Then second one is more wastage of pollen grains. More wastage of pollen grains. Then third one is third demerits. First one is more wastage of energy, second one is more wastage of pollen grains, third one is pure line varieties is not obtained. or genetically those varieties is not pure, that is fewer line varieties is not obtained, that is the disadvantages of cross pollination. Here complete the pollination, types of pollination, agencies of pollination, and then advantages and disadvantages of self as well as cross pollination.